Do you need to be in a particularly diseased or debilitated state in order to achieve a magical transformation with peptides? Absolutely not. Before I get into this video though, please bless us by leaving a like and a comment and subscribe to the channel if you like our content and want more, and you can check out the description to redeem your free gift, totally free, The Life-Changing Magic of Peptides, which is a course made by Brenden Henry himself in order to introduce you to the world of peptides that we love so much. My name is Dr. Ali, and I am the Head Transformation Specialist at the Peptide Science Institute, and today I'll bring you the story of a man we'll call Ben. Now, the title of this transformation case study is Getting His Mojo Back, Total Performance Enhancement in Business and Life. We successfully revitalized a high-achieving entrepreneur who was losing his edge using our comprehensive biological enhancement protocols. In this case study, I'll share how we helped our client regain his mental sharpness, physical vitality, and entrepreneurial fire. A little bit about our client. So we're going to call him Ben, and he's a 45-year-old entrepreneur constantly managing more responsibilities. Starting in his late 20s, his first business venture exploded with success, which he leveraged to launch several other successful companies. Beyond his professional achievements, Ben shouldered the immense responsibility of providing high-level financial support for all 5 of his siblings, his mother, and his own family. His success wasn't just personal, it was the foundation upon which his entire extended family relied. So what would the problems be for somebody like that? Well, by the time Ben reached out to us, he had been experiencing a steady decline in performance for over 5 years. What began as subtle changes in his late 30s had progressed into significant limitations, starting off with number 1, mental fog and reduced sharpness, as in mental sharpness. Once able to process complex information quickly, Ben now struggled to maintain focus in meetings and frequently lost his train of thought mid-conversation. Number 2 is extreme fatigue. The man who once worked 16-hour days with boundless energy now required 1 to 2 naps daily just to function at a basic level. By 2 p.m., he would be fighting to keep his eyes open during important meetings. Third of all, profound demotivation. Perhaps most alarming for someone with Ben's ambitions, he had lost his characteristic drive. Projects that would have once excited him now seemed overwhelming, and his entrepreneurial spirit was fading. Number 4 is heightened anxiety. Ben had transformed from someone who thrived on challenges to someone who dreaded them. Business opportunities now triggered anxiety rather than excitement, and his worldview had become increasingly pessimistic, a pattern you really see with someone who bit off more than they can chew, or so they think. Number 5 is professional demands versus declining capacity. As his businesses grew, they required more of his energy and attention, precisely as his capacity to give them was diminishing. Number 6 is failed medical interventions. So before Ben had come to us and sought our help, he had went to 2 different psychiatrists. One of them diagnosed him with depression and put him on escitalopram, and that only caused excessive drowsiness and really increased the need to nap. He also reported emotional numbness or blunting. The second psychiatrist diagnosed him with ADHD, and he put him on Adderall. I forget the exact dose. I think it was 50 milligrams of Adderall extended release, and it did help for a while, but then the side effects started accumulating, from worsening sleep scores to cardiac side effects to excessive sweating. Really not an ideal way to keep your drive elevated, to keep your concentration elevated, to really have your memory on point all the time, to keep your energy levels high, etc. Before our intervention, Ben's clinical assessment had shown a concerning picture. Starting off with his cognitive performance using Stroop test, particularly this Stroop test, he had a score of 100, and work in memory using the NBAC test had shown a 1-back accuracy score of 85%, a 2-back accuracy score of 65%, and a 3-back accuracy score of 40%, with his reaction time averaging 750 milliseconds. His physical and metabolic health were also not in the best shape, as his heart rate variability, or HRV, was 35 milliseconds, which is below the average for his age. His VO2 max was just 34.2 milliliters per kilogram per minute, which is the bottom 25% for his age. His daily naps required were 1 to 2, sometimes 3, in order to just function properly. Joint issues. He had turf toe in his right foot, lumbar pain, and left hip tightness, which he didn't really connect to actually affecting his cognitive performance and life in general, but This is going to affect your cerebellar function, which eventually will affect your whole brain function. Whether you like it or not, alignment and orthopedic health does affect cognition and mood and so on, no matter how tough you are. Moving on to sleep quality, his Apple Watch would show scores from 29 to 38, which was very poor, and his depression score on Beck Depression Inventory showed a score of 29, indicating moderate to severe depression. And the most exciting part to me about our case studies is when we reveal the process, the journey that we took with Ben, the journey that we took cerebrally in order to identify the problems he's facing, in order to study every little corner that we can of his biology to create an optimal program for him with peptides and other molecules and nutrition and so on. So first off, we have precision cell augmentation. Using our proprietary method, we precisely measured Ben's biomarkers and genetic data to create a personalized protocol targeting his unique biological weaknesses. Number 2 is pancreatic and metabolic support stack. Our assessment revealed unoptimized metabolic markers putting stress on several organs, particularly his pancreas, which we addressed with targeted nutritional and peptide interventions. Number 3 is circadian rhythm optimization, a very underrated step for depression and performance. Since Ben's businesses required frequent travel across time zones, we implemented a specialized protocol to rapidly reset his internal clock with each journey. Endocrine function optimization, another big one. We identified a vicious cycle where chronic stress was disrupting Ben's endocrine system, which in turn was increasing his stress response. Our targeted approach broke this cycle at its core. And by the way, for those curious about reading further about something like this, it's called a positive feedback loop in biology. Number 5, a personalized nutritional protocol where we created an individualized diet specifically designed to meet Ben's nutritional requirements while remaining convenient enough to follow during his demanding schedule. Number 6 is orthopedic alignment optimization. We addressed muscle tightness and joint misalignment that had become Ben's new normal, recognizing that these physical imbalances were causing excessive cognitive strain due to disrupted proprioception. And number 7 is a targeted peptide and nootropic stack where we implemented a scientifically designed combination of peptides and nootropics specifically formulated to enhance cognitive function and energy production in Ben's brain. Now, what did Ben look like after his transformation with us? Remember, this is a man with no particular disease, or he wasn't in a debilitated state in particular. He was still ongoing. He was still achieving all he wants to achieve, just feeling difficulty doing it, feeling like he doesn't have that edge anymore. He doesn't have the sharpness he used to. He doesn't have the energy he used to. He needed several naps throughout the day, etc. So, after our comprehensive transformation program, Ben's improvements were significant. First off, cognitive performance assessed with the Stroop test. His score jumped from 100 to 130 on the same Stroop test. Work in memory with the NBAC test, where one-back accuracy went up to 95%, showing significant improvement. Two-back accuracy improved to 85%, another huge boost, and three-back accuracy going up to 65%, indicating better ability to track information. His reaction time also had a significant improvement from 750 milliseconds down to 600 milliseconds. And faster reaction time is not just associated with faster decision making, it's also associated with better both afferent and efferent neuronal function. So the signals from his brain's neurons to the rest of his body's neurons are now faster and the other way around. Physical and metabolic health. His HRV has went up to 66 milliseconds, which is above average for his age group, indicating better resilience because a higher HRV is associated with more mental resilience. His VO2 max had gone up to 50.8 milliliter per kilograms per minute. Now he's in the top 20 to 25% for his age group. After having come to us being in the bottom 25% for his age group, his daily naps required for optimal function went from 1 to 2, sometimes 3 to now 0. He can just bulldoze throughout the day, bulldoze through any day really of hard work, and then just need his sleep at night, wake up and repeat. His joint issues are now completely resolved. No hip tightness, no turf toe, etc. Sleep quality from the Apple Watch measurements have improved from 29 to 38 and are now 72 to 90. That's massive improvement. That alone is transformation worthy, but there was so much more and even more after that. As you can see, the additional benefits section. Depression score on Beck Depression Inventory had gone down from 29 to just 7, indicating no depressive symptoms. And the additional benefits: he had improved his physical appearance despite exercising less. His body had been showing sagging, sort of aging signs of skin sagging and muscle atrophy and shrinkage, and really weakening and tendon pain when pushing too hard in the gym. Now he exercises less and looks better. He had a 12-year reduction in biological age measured by DNA methylation clock. His blood pressure had reduced from 128/80 to 105/70. Now, we did this without any blood pressure medications, but we are not against blood pressure medications. Those medications can save lives, but in a person like Ben, who's not really in a debilitated state, there's no underlying disease, there's no real risks for heart failure because we did screen his heart and other biomarkers in his blood, and he was healthy overall. He just needed improvement in his metabolic health, and his blood pressure had dropped to what it should be. The last point in additional benefits was actually reported by his wife, where his body odor had actually improved. So he no longer has a foully smelling body odor, which it wasn't significant to begin with, but improving his metabolic health, his wife did point out that his body odor smell had improved massively. Before our program, Ben felt exhausted, had bad slumped posture, dark circles under his eyes, and felt a lack of vitality in his movements and speech. After the program, he said he stood taller with squared shoulders, felt like he moved with energy and purpose, and even felt like his eyes were sharper and more awake, something he hadn't noticed in himself in years. Some of the best comments from Ben about the program: I wasn't sure if constant exhaustion was just part of getting older. I run multiple businesses and just figured age was finally catching up to me. But now it's insane. I feel like I've unlocked a new part of myself. My energy levels are better than I can ever remember. I feel sharper than every single one of my colleagues, including guys half my age. My family noticed a big difference. I'm noticing how much more my wife is complimenting me. I'm present with my kids again, and I feel more awake and alive. I have so much more to give. It's been a huge boost for business. I feel faster, more aware, and my decisions feel more effortless. My instincts feel like they're on point again. And I have the great feeling I can trust myself with big decisions. Someone on my team even mentioned the strategies I'm coming up with are becoming next level, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm loving it. Yes, the program has already paid for itself tenfold with my business performance. When you're operating at your peak, everything becomes better and opportunities just materialize. To get your own transformation, please visit this link. This was Dr. Ali, the Head Transformation Specialist at the Peptide Science Institute. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy our content, please leave a comment, subscribe, and like the video. It helps us out a lot. Goodbye.